Have you read the food labels of your favorite foods or drinks? Or especially when you go out to eat, do you actually know what you're drinking? Have you pulled up the nutrition label? The food industry adds fat, sugar, and salt to make things tasty. And today I'm going to be talking over some sugar shockers. And I'll also be talking about how the end result of all this sugar can lead to insulin resistance and it can affect our health and our weight loss. And blood sugar balance is really huge for health. And this is why it's one of the topics inside my course, Healthy Inside Now. And it's always something I'm going over with clients because we really need a strong foundation of eating healthy. And part of that strong foundation is knowing how to manage our blood sugars. And I encourage you that if you're looking for support, that if you are feeling stuck, if you're ready to develop some consistency, whether that's in your exercise, nutrition, or your mindset, or those blocks that you're having, set up a free call with me and let's find the right plan for you. Hi, friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michele, mama of 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so today I have my daughter Ava on the podcast. She is 17, and it seemed like once she started driving, she also started going to some coffee shops. And there is one called Dutch Bros by Us. And recently one of my friends was saying how much sugar is in some of their drinks, like over 100 grams. So I told Ava one day, and then she started to Google and look up the nutrition information. So, Ava, tell us a little bit what you found and what your thoughts were.
Well, my motto is always ignorance is bliss. So I didn't really want to know. But once I did, it's just kind of like, it's shocking. It's kind of gross, actually. When you think about it, it's just so much sugar, like compared to the size of the cup. So like you're drinking pure sugar. And I kind of just became unappetizing, honestly. You just can't look at it the same.
Yeah, so I'm going to share a few of these drinks. So the caramelizer, a large one has 80 grams, medium 72, and a small 65. I mean, you guys, can you imagine 65 grams of sugar? Like what that would look like if we just filled the cup with just like pure cane sugar, how much that would be. It would be a lot. And this, guys, Aftershock Rebel, the large has 140 grams of sugar, the medium 103, and the Aftershock 64. Ava, what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, so much sugar. And you just didn't know. So, and then I remember she looked up some other drinks like, well, what are the ones with less sugar? So, for example, the latte, a large 33 grams, medium 28, small 18. So that seems way less than the other ones, but that is still a lot of sugar.
Yeah, it is a lot. And it can, like, the ones that you want to get, like, they have all these extra flavors, and all the extra flavor has, like, added sugar. And then there's, like, things you can get, like the soft top. You can, for a limited time, you could add boba. So that's more sugar just added to those numbers, and it just results in something that's honestly insane. And then just the calories, too, and it's, I mean, I'm not someone who necessarily cares about that, but it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, since she is my daughter. Tell us what you know about the impact of sugar.
It's lots of sugar is not good for you. I think it does stuff to your blood pressure and
Blood sugar.
blood
It
sugar.
can affect your blood pressure too.
See, I was right. But it's just like not good for you, and it doesn't make you feel great. I know when I have a lot of sugar, I just feel like more uggy. I don't know if that's a word or not.
Okay, there we go. Yes, sugar, it temporarily can make you feel good and you get a dopamine rush. But after that, you have that crash because your blood sugar starts to crash and then you feel not good or uggy in teenager terms these days. All right, Ava, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing from my daughter. I think it's so important whether you have kids or grandkids, we don't try to control them or make a big deal out of things. We can try to educate them and just be a really good example, share how eating good, healthy food makes us feel. As we're thinking about sugar, I want you guys also to think about that it's just empty calories. So when we're thinking about nourishing our body and really fueling our body, we really need to maximize on the nutrient potential of the food we're eating. We got to make sure we're getting enough fiber, the phytonutrients, the minerals, the vitamins, all these other things. If we are having something that is 600 calories of mostly sugar, we are missing out on a lot of nutrients our body needs to make our cells healthy, to help our function of our hormones, and all those different processes that go inside of our body. We need more than just calories. We need that actual nutrition. Now, I've had people ask me this: what amount of added sugar can I eat in a day? And I am not going to give you a gram that I think is okay, because I think this is really a personal decision and everybody's on their own journey. But it really needs to come down to we should be having very little to no added sugar most days. It's not like an essential nutrient that we need. It's not like protein that we need or healthy fat that we need or different minerals that we need. We don't need added sugar. So it really comes down to how can you continue to decrease that added sugar to get to as little as you can or to get to none. And I think it's funny. I mean, I think I've Googled or seen before, like, I don't know, whoever recommends, no more than 25 grams of added sugar a day. But it's like, that's a lot for something that we don't even need. And we're only making it okay because that is what people are eating. So everyone's on a different journey. So see where you are and what you think is a good amount for you. And I just want to break a little bit here to share some of my favorite supplements. I only share on here the things that I use and that I really like. So one thing that I really like is Organifi's green juice. It has that clinical dose of ashwagandha. I add my protein powder to it, and I don't have a favorite. I use collagen protein in it. I don't have a favorite one, and that's why I don't share it on here. I think there's a few different ones that you can use. Collagen protein just mixes really nice. So I start my day off with that Organifi green juice. Probably 75 to 80% of the nights I end my day with Organifi's Gold. It has lemon balm and curcumin in it. It's a nice calming drink, anti-inflammatory, and that lemon balm is a very calming herb. The other thing I'm making sure I'm taking daily is my fish oil supplement. If you guys don't know about omega-3s, make sure you search in the podcast here to learn more about fish oils, omega, and brain health, because it's super powerful. I just had a client recently test her levels and she was low, and she was really shocked at how low she was. So there will be a link down below where you can test your levels of omega-3s, and then you can use my favorite supplement, and then you retest and make sure that that level is going up and is in that good range, making sure that your body is absorbing it. So there will be links for that down below. And if you guys have questions about that, you can always reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. So as we're talking about sugar, what having too much sugar eventually leads to, and this can also be from having too many of the highly processed carbs like breads, chips, those other things that also turn into sugar in our bloodstream, is that it can lead to insulin resistance. And over time, insulin resistance tends to get worse and affects our health. So the pancreatic beta cells that make this insulin that helps to bring down our blood sugar wears out. And eventually the pancreas no longer produces enough insulin to overcome the cell's resistance. And the result is that we get higher blood glucose levels. And ultimately that leads to the prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. So this is like super important for our health, is that we're knowing how to manage our blood sugars and eat in a healthy way so that we're preventing getting diabetes. The rate of type 2 diabetes is going up. They're even starting to see it in kids. And there you go. I mean, there's these coffee, sugary drinks, but I mean, think about all the other things kids are eating that are high in sugar and also high in those processed carbs that turn to blood sugar. Type 2 diabetes should not be happening in kids, but it is, because this is what we are surrounded with. And so what happens with insulin resistance is that the cells in your muscle, fat, and liver don't respond to insulin as they should. And the insulin comes from the pancreas, and it's really essential for regulating our blood sugar levels. So under normal circumstances, insulin functions like this. So your body breaks down the food, and then you get glucose in your bloodstream. And that's your body's main source of energy. And then glucose enters the bloodstream, and that signals the pancreas to release this insulin. And then the insulin helps the glucose in your bloodstream to enter into your muscle, fat, and liver cells so they can use it for energy or store it for later. So guys, it goes back to this idea of movement. If we are not moving, we're not using the energy in the food that we're eating. And when the glucose then enters our cells and the levels in the bloodstreams decrease, it signals for your pancreas to stop producing insulin. But what happens is when this path gets worn out, your muscle, fat, and liver cells may not efficiently be able to take up this glucose from your blood to use it or to store it. And this is what insulin resistance is. And so your pancreas is then having to make more insulin to overcome these high blood glucose levels. And over time, your cells start to become resistant to this insulin, and it leads to higher blood sugar levels and again to diabetes, among some other. Now, when it comes specifically when we're talking weight loss, if your cells become too resistant to insulin, it can result in elevated blood sugar levels, which can lead to weight gain, prediabetes, and type 2. And so then losing weight, if you have insulin resistance, becomes more difficult because the body stores this excess blood sugar as fat. It doesn't mean that you can't. It's going to be harder until you start getting this blood sugar regulation down. So that's why the earlier that we can start to learn to manage our blood sugars and eat in a healthy way, the better it's going to be. But it's never too late, friends. Even I've heard stories of people who've had diabetes and reversed it. So even if you're just in that insulin resistant stage, which a lot of us can't even find out, this sort of blows my mind that we're not testing for insulin resistance, because even on the ADA website, the diabetes website, they talked about this insulin resistance leading to diabetes, but yet we're not testing it because the medical field says that they can't come to a consensus on the numbers. So I could go down a whole trail for that, but I'm not going to. But so you may not know if you have insulin resistance is also my point, and that this can happen for decades and decades before you get to that pre-diabetes stage. And whether you have insulin resistance or not, it's good to eat in a healthy blood sugar way, regardless of if you have it. So when we really eat to nourish our body, fuel our bodies, and balance our blood sugars, we're going to be healthy inside and preventing diseases. All right, so I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. I hope that it made you think a little more about sugar. I hope that it's going to make you Google maybe like your favorite restaurant or your favorite drink, or look at something and find out the nutrition of it. See how much sugar is in it. See how much salt is in it. See what the actual ingredients are. And guys, I would love it if you share this in my Facebook group, Healthy Beyond 40. Take a snapshot of something that you've been eating and what that label shows, so we can encourage and inspire each other, and really so we can start to educate ourselves and educate each other so we can live healthy. So you guys will find all the links I've talked about in this episode down below. I hope everyone is having a great summer and that you all keep on moving.